Oh, oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Said before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more weeping. No more weeping. No more weeping over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, oh, freedom. Oh, oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Said before I'd be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go to my Lord and be free. Said I'll go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, I'll go home to my Lord, and I'll be free. Hello, my name is AshLee Baskin, and I am a singer, songwriter, part-time poet, spoken word artist, lyricist, MC, actress, teaching artist, based right here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm so honored, humbled to be a part of this Juneteenth project. Juneteenth for me is a holiday that admittedly has not always been as important as it should be for me, especially considering being a descendant of enslaved Africans. I knew what it was, I understood what the holiday was, but it wasn't personal. And so as I got older and as I started to learn more about my heritage, my lineage, and my ancestors, that's when Juneteenth started to have more of a meaning in my life. I learned about my great-great-great-grandmother, Amanda Beasley, who was actually born into slavery and ran to freedom. She escaped slavery and took her freedom. I learned about my great-great-great-grandfather who fought in the Civil War on the side of the Union, fighting for a country that would over and over and over again prove to be a country that wouldn't fight for him, that wouldn't fight for us. And so as I started to learn these things about where the folks that I come from, the lineage that I come from, the meaning of Juneteenth, that freedom, weighed heavier in my life. I thought about the tremendous amount of courage that it must have taken for my great-great-grandmother to decide that slavery is no longer going to be a part of her life. It's not who she is. It's not who she was destined to be. And so she took what was rightfully hers, what had been denied. I thought about the incredible resolve, right, that it took for someone in my family to enlist, right, to serve, to fight for freedom, to fight to be seen, to be heard, to no longer be counted as 3/5 of a human being, but to declare their humanity and to take it. And when I think about that, and when I think about just the generations that have gone before me, and even as I look around and think about where we are currently, right, as a society, currently with the current cultural climate, and we're still fighting that same fight. Holidays such as Juneteenth is a sobering reminder that those before me fought so that I can continue to fight. And it is my duty, it is my responsibility to fight because I have that blood in me. And so that song that I sang that I opened with, Oh Freedom, is what I imagine their battle cry, their heart's cry, their soul's desire. I imagine that it was screaming, oh freedom, that before I would be a slave, before I would allow someone to enslave me, to dehumanize me, to subjugate me, before I would allow them to do that, I'll be buried in my grave and I'll go home to eternal rest, but I'll be free. And so you're going to see an original piece that I wrote. I originally intended it for a Kwanzaa celebration, but if you understand the principles of Kwanzaa, you also understand that Kwanzaa can be every day, right? Kwanzaa can be all the time. And so the next piece that you're about to see is a poem that I wrote, and it's called Black Thread. There is a thread that connects, protects, and seals us all. There is a thread that binds us collectively and holds us close, that interlaces us side by side and entwines us soul to soul. There is a thread, a black one, by which we are all yet hanging on. This thread is blackness. You see, very early we're conditioned to see blackness as bad, as something to be discarded, as villainous, as ugly, as less than. But you and I know better. We know that black is excellence. It is excellence. Black redefines excellence. Black is brilliant. Black is the essence of all the things we've been, we are, and wish to be. That black thread that has been knitting us together has been doing so since before time began, for it was out of blackness that life began. Black predates ancient, it's older than humankind. Black is the beginning, from the beginning, in the beginning, the force behind life divine. Because it was into the blackness that God commanded, let there be light. And the blackness obeyed in the created day and night. Black is the concrete, the abstract, and everything in between. It is the realization of things seen and unseen. Black uplifts, calling us to lift every voice and sing songs of liberation, songs of redemption, songs of rebellion, songs of joy, of pain, of sunshine and rain, songs of love, of unity, of hope. Black is tribal melodies, Negro spirituals, classical arias, gospel hymns, jazz standards, doo-wop hits, rock and roll jams, R&B ballads, and rap classics. Black is dynamic. It is not static. Black is loud and unapologetic. rolls and hand claps. Black is fierce. Black fights to be seen, to be heard, to take up space and time. Black absorbs the sun's rays, gives it back, a refraction of the sun's shine. Black has jagged points and smooth edges. Black is newborn babes and elders. Black is middle-aged young adults and teenagers. Black is worry wrinkles and laugh lines. Black is quiet and reflective. Black is vulnerable and is very, very perceptive. Black is rebellious, rogue, and inconsiderate, but that is precisely what makes Black so resilient. Black has tasted the bitterness of loss, waded in the brutal waters of suffering. Black has fought depression, repression, oppression, and regression. Black is the tear-stained faces and pain cries of mothers concerned for their Black sons and husbands who have had to put their families back together after the effects of racism tried to destroy it. Black is the mothers, the fathers, the sons, and daughters whose memories we hold in our hearts as they have gone on before us. Black is strong. Black just keeps on keeping on. Black is praying mamas and grandmamas whose knees have worn away the carpet in their prayer closet, who wage war in the spiritual realm on behalf of all of us. Black is the prayer that sustains us. Black is in the introduction to Jesus. You know, sweet little baby Jesus, born in a manger, wrapped in swaddling clothes. Surely you don't believe the colonized version with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a small, narrow nose. But I suppose only heaven knows. Black is the savior of the world and the lover and the redeemer of our souls. Black is the sinner and the saint. Black is the sacred and the profane. Black is grateful to be cloaked in God's amazing, keeping grace. Black is the village that embraced and raised the child. Black is unity and community. It is one voice, one sound. Black is rhythm. Black is rhythm. Black is rhythm. It's rhythmic, a heartbeat, a drumbeat. It's fluid, it's movement, a dance. It is the movement. Black is the revolution. Black is marching hand in hand, picket signs, sit in, battle cries, fight for your rights. Black lives matter, Black power, and Black pride. Slavery couldn't bind it. Jim Crow couldn't define it. Systemic oppression won't untie it. Mass incarceration won't confine it. Racism won't unwind it. Why? Because Black just keeps on fighting. Black is the calloused hands that work twice as hard for half the reward. But Black won't lay down and just give up because Black has come too far. Black can take a hit and bounce right back. Black may bend, but it won't break. And it certainly does not crack. Black don't crack. Black is rich. I'm talking Mansa Musa. Black is strategic. I'm talking Shaka Zulu. Black is diplomatic. I'm talking Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu. Black is genius. You know, the hidden figure Katherine Johnson, or astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Henry Louis Gates, the professor from Harvard. Black is innovative. I'm talking Dr. Charles Richard Drew and George Washington Carver. Black is impactful. I'm talking Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Thurgood Marshall. Black is insightful. I'm talking the writing genius of Ta-Nehisi Coates or the social commentary of Van Jones. Black is magical like Nina Simone, like Maya Angelou, like Quincy Jones. Black is radical like Angela Davis, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, and Nat Turner. Black is intellectual. I'm talking Dr. Carnell West or Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. Black is high society. Now y'all know I'm talking about Oprah Winfrey. Black is resourceful, like Elijah McCoy or Garrett Morgan. Black is controversial, like Louis Farrakhan or Byron Allen. Black is creative, like Miles Davis, Stevie Wonder, or Basquiat. Black is royalty. I'm talking African kings and queens. Black is the greatest you've ever seen. It floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. Now y'all know I'm talking about the greatest Muhammad Ali. Black is multifaceted, multidimensional and non-conventional. Black knows blessings and curses and hardships and hurt. Black knows tragedy and trauma. Black celebrates victory and triumph. Black was created in the image of an invisible Heavenly Father. So when you gaze into the face of blackness, you should see reflected the glory of the living, true God. Black is the roots and the soil. Black is history. His story, her story, their story, my story, your story, what's known and unknown, stories told and retold. Black is marvelous. I mean, sometimes I sit back and just marvel at us. Black is legacy. Black is beautiful. Black is whole. Black is whole. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that piece. I wrote that piece as a celebration of blackness, right? The good, the bad, the not so pretty, everything in between. I wrote that piece in rebellion, right? In rebellion to the things that say that black is bad, that black is less than, that black is inferior, that black is a villain. I wrote that piece to uplift and encourage and inspire and to help remind us, the roots, from which we sprung, to help remind us who we are, who we've been, who we've always been, who we always will be. So I hope you enjoyed that piece again. Like I said, I wrote that. It's called Black Thread. Nina Simone is one of my biggest influences as an artist. And she said something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said something to the effect of, it's an artist's duty to reflect the times, right? Meaning that as an artist, you are responsible for the message that you send on the platform that you have. And if you are not sending a message that is relevant, if you're not sending a message that is reflective of where you are, the space that you're in, the space that you take up in the world that you live in, then what are you doing? And so that has always been a guiding thought, a guiding force for me in my artistry. I always want to be relevant. I always want to speak to where I am. I always want to speak to who I am, right? The space that I take up as a proud black woman in this country that tells you to not be black and proud. And so, anyway, this next piece that you're going to see and hear is Nina Simone's For Women. I chose that piece for this project because it tells a story. It tells a story of four very different women, four very different perspectives, but essentially the same fight. And I love the conviction, I love the vulnerability, I love the sassiness, I love the allure, right, of the song and what it portrays. And on this particular song, I am being accompanied by the incredibly talented Joshua Thompson, who is well known around this city, well-known classical pianist who is very intentional about highlighting works of African Americans and their contribution to classical music. And so hopefully you enjoy this next piece. Again, it is Nina Simone's For Women. My skin is black, my arms are long, my hair is woolly, my back is strong, strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. My name is Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow, my hair is long, between two words He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is Saffronia. My name is Saffronia. My skin is tan. My hair is fine. My hips invite you. My mouth is like wine. Little girl am I, and young with money to buy. What do they call me? My name is Sweet Thing. Oh, Sweet Thing. My skin is brown. My manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see. My life has been rough. I'm awfully bitter these days because my parents were slain. What do they call me? And Sarah, what do they call me? Saffronia, what do they call me? Sweet Thing, what do they call me? My name is PJ. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you again. I'm so incredibly grateful to be a part of this project. I hope that you were uplifted. I hope that you were challenged. If you were offended, that's okay. I just ask that you check the reason that you're offended. I hope that you get a better glimpse, better understanding of Juneteenth, what it means for us, the personal connection to this particular holiday, but more so to this struggle and to this fight that continues. Again, my name is AshLee Baskin, and it has been an incredible pleasure. Thank you.